Do it or I punch you? Okay. I'm not sure if it fits here, but I love playing malicious compliance on my kids. It started one day when my youngest was really unbearable and I was really tired. He didn't want to tidy up after dinner. They have to put their dishes to the kitchen after eating, and he knew I wouldn't let him watch anything if he didn't do that. It wasn't a problem to tidy up. He just didn't want to do that. It's like playing tug of war, and kids do that a lot. He was shouting louder at me and started throwing tantrum to make me put his dishes away for him and waiting for me to give in. I usually ignore such behavior and pretend to not hear nor see him when he acts like this. Sometimes adding with surprise, "Oh, you are talking to me? I didn't know. I can't understand you at all when you yell like this. It would be easier for me to understand you if you talk calmly to me." It usually works perfectly, but I had a really bad day and couldn't stand him shouting like that. But suddenly he said, "Do it or I'll punch you." I was angry at first, but I said, "Okay. Punch me." He was confused but still angry, so he eventually punched my arm. He didn't put a lot of force to it, like he wasn't sure if I won't scold him for that, but I didn't at all. I looked at him and said, "Okay. I guess we can move on now. You punched me so you can tidy up your dishes now. But I want you to do that." But I agreed for your proposition. I tidy up or you punch me. You punched me, so why do you still want me to tidy up after you? That's not fair. He was still very confused and angry, but he understood that there is nothing more he can do now. It works with everything. Give me a chocolate bar or I kick you. Okay. Kick me and go away. Just do it quickly, I'm busy. I want to play it now. Give it to me or I hit you. You know where it's going. He quickly realized that threatening me like that to get anything is the easiest way to lose it at all. He tried this just few more times to find out it only makes things worse for him until he stopped it at all. He never wanted to hurt me. He wanted many other things that he was losing definitely if I agreed to his blackmail. Kicking, hitting or punching and getting what he wants was never an option. I played it also few times on my oldest, but he is a bit more restrained, not sure if that is the right word, and he never actually did what he was threatening me to do. Thankfully he was giving up without any hitting or kicking. They are very careful with what they say to me right now because they know the crazy mother may agree. Undefined. Gosh, this is both amazing and terrifying at the same time. Terrifying because it goes against everything we are told, and there's a lot of comments here about this. Look out when you're older, spare the rod, spoil the child, etc. Amazing because it is a higher path and apparently effective. Very Martin Luther King-like. Maybe this is also part of why it's terrifying, because what we were told was wrong and this is superior. Thank you for sharing. I have some philosophical thinking to do. People are gonna get all self-righteous and defensive about this. But I'm gonna say it anyway. It's completely unnecessary to hit your kids. I've always thought that was the lazy way out. Means you don't have to make the effort to actually show them what they should do instead, and the patience to help them learn to overcome their impulses. And, most importantly, you have to have the self-control to model the behavior yourself. My husband and I have never hit our kids. It seems like Op's approach, and ours, is based on helping them learn self-control and self-regulation. And to think through their behavior rather than learning to avoid behavior out of fear of physical harm. It's a much better approach in the long term. Because they learn to make good choices because it's the right thing to do rather than because they want to avoid getting hit. The former means that they'll do the right thing even when nobody is watching, and it becomes a core part of who they are as a person. It's unfortunate that people think it's perfectly normal to physically assault a child. Your boss at work can't hit you when you make a mistake without facing serious legal and social repercussions. Even the police in this country can't assault you unless you are a clear physical threat. If they do, they face serious consequences. They can't haul off and smack you if you're caught speeding or shoplifting. For example, it's baffling to me that adults have more legal protection against physical assault than kids do. And the argument about, "Ooh, just wait until they're older," is BS. Our oldest is just about out of high school and the youngest is just about to start high school. And they are great kids. We get emails from teachers every year about their positive attitudes and how nice it is to have the kids in class because they're cooperative, polite, and willing to help others. The credit for that goes 100% to the kids. By the way, they absorbed all the things we tried to teach them along the way. My youngest is odd. We did therapy, but they still try to engage occasionally by saying outrageous things. I found the best was to diffuse the situation is give an unexpected answer. Why? What would you do if I insert criminal act? Well, I'd really prefer if you didn't, because then I'd have to hire you a lawyer and then go visit you in prison and make sure you have money to pay for things in there. It would end up being really expensive, so it'd be more cost effective if you just didn't do it. Shorter one. Why? Creepy tone. How do you feel about death? Me. I try not to do it. Kid finds it hysterical and situation is diffused. We've basically turned into a comedy act since they can never predict what I'm going to say in response. Also, we've had real talks about death. My family lives long, so we normally have a generation go in a few years every couple decades. So they lost 6 of their great-grandparents in 2 groupings over 10 years. This was not one of those conversations. Holy crap. Your kids hit you? I hit my dad once when I was a teen. Only once. After that I remember waking up on the floor with my dad standing over me asking me if I would like to try that again. Lesson learned. Delivery driver wouldn't walk up small flight of stairs to deliver items. So I made him walk further. I'm in the UK and live in a small block of flats, so most delivery drivers could walk up the stairs to drop things at front doors, so they just dump them in the stairwell. I totally get it's a pain, but we keep getting stuff stolen as anyone walking past can grab stuff. So there's a big sign asking people not to leave items there as it's not safe/secure. So there's the same driver from one company that just dumps the items there regardless. They have to take pictures to prove it got delivered, and in the back of the photo you can even see the sign saying please don't leave them there. So anyway, the petty part is I can choose to get items delivered to my home or to a local store for collection. So I've now started doing sending them to a store I shop in weekly. It's the same driver the app says who was driving for them to be rated, but instead of a short flight of stairs, he now needs to find somewhere to park. Go to a good inns area. Go through the faff of booking in a parcel with an actual person that'll take way longer and more energy than climbing a flight of stairs. It's petty, but if him and my parcels are no longer are at risk of being stolen. TLDR, made a delivery guy walk even further after he wouldn't deliver to the door and parcels were getting stolen. I'd see if I could condition him. Order to your flat. If he delivers to the wrong spot, next delivery is to the store. Once again. To your flat. If he delivers to the wrong spot, next 2 deliveries to the store. Order to your flat. Continue ad nauseum. The question is if he'll even connect that the deliveries to the house and the store are the same person. He may not be fully paying attention to the name or bothering to remember the door. I bet he connects them. I used to live on a bumpy dirt road that the delivery driver hated because his packages would always fall off his shelves. Once he saw me in town getting out of my car at my office. You work here? Yes. From then on he always brought my packages to my office regardless of the address on the label, which I didn't mind because they'd be in my hands sooner. Then he started bringing packages for my in-laws who lived on the same bumpy road to my office as well. Not even the same last name. I presume your package is not the only one delivered to that store on that day. So delivering your package to the store as well means less work for him and less headache for you. It's a win-win situation. Not revenge. I also usually order to a store next to the office. Before home office started, the store where I bought my lunch twice a week. They got a half-full cart of parcels delivered every day. But isn't this more work for OP to have to go to the store? And OP won't get packages as soon as they arrive. I get that there's less chance of the packages being stolen, but it still seems like a Pyrrhic victory. You want us to give away stock for free? Okay. This happened a number of years ago when I worked in a pet store. I was at head office for a team building type thing, when all the big wigs began to get excited and announced that they wanted us to be the first to know about the next big initiative in customer service. The idea was that every day, each employee could and should give away a free item to a customer of our choosing. It should be a customer that we had built a rapport with and had to be under a certain cost. They thought that this would make the customers feel special. I, along with a number of others, queried this every day. Yes. Each employee? Yes. For free? Yes. You are aware that the cost will be quite significant? Yes. But it is worth it to keep our customers happy and to increase our reputation. They confirmed that they had drafted an email to all stores to be sent in the morning. But we were to take this initiative back to our stores and encourage all the employees to get on board. They had also created a new function on the registers, which would discount the item of our choosing to zero. So that is exactly what I did. I ensured that not only I, but all the staff gave away their free item each day. And no more than 1 week later, it would appear that all the other stores were doing the same, as all stores received an email stating in no uncertain terms that we were to stop giving away free items immediately and that the function had been removed from the registers. We were even threatened with disciplinary action if any more free items were given away. I just don't know what they thought was going to happen. It still makes me chuckle to think of the meeting when they saw the loss in profits. They heard about Disney Magic, which when a cast member can give away an item to make a guest happy. Yes, a CM can walk into a store or restaurant and request/take any item and it get recorded as a magic gift. However, they have to justify it after the fact, with lots of documentation and a detailed description of what happened and why magic was the solution. I think this would have worked if the free item was something incredibly cheap like a catnip mouse. If you have 20 employees and they each give out one catnip mouse, that's what, like a grand total of 5 in losses using the price the store paid for the mouse. Not the retail value? For dogs, maybe a tennis ball or a pig's ear valued at $2.15 retail. Did any of y'all give away the free item to certain customers who definitely were complete strangers and surely were not in any way related or friends of the employees? LOL. I have found that corporate offices rarely think that promotions will cost as much as they actually cost. Many years ago, an airline offered very expensive passes that would let you fly as often as you liked, anywhere you liked, for the one upfront cost. The costs of the free flights almost brought the company down years later. The corporate bigwigs didn't think that anyone would actually use enough flights to use up the very expensive amount the passes cost. They made it a lifetime pass. Then they tried to cancel the passes already sold years later, and got into some legal issues because the pass owners were not yet dead and it was a lifetime pass. I find it very funny when corporations shoot themselves in the foot this way. Roommate kept making my trash can gross, so I made it grosser. Hi. I have one roommate who seems to not respect anyone's belongings or personal items. He doesn't clean after himself, doesn't buy anything communal for the house: laundry detergent, dishes, soap, paper towels. In fact, all of the communal items in the house are the possession of myself and the other roommate who is currently away. We have determined some items such as dishes, the washer and dryer, and the trash can to be communal. This dude is messy. I kept coming home from work to find food stuck to the countertops and my trash can covered in sticky liquids. The trash can is mine, and I don't want to have to buy many new ones just because someone can't clean after themselves. After bleaching and scrubbing the trash can every week because of this issue and asking him to at least take the trash out when it was full to no avail, I was done. Yesterday I came home to find it almost glued shut from liquids with a horrible smell. So, I emptied it out and decided if nasty is what he wants, that's what he can get. I did not put a bag in the trash can and filled it with expired milk, old kale and other vegetables, and threw away dog poop in there. The smell is now awful. I look forward to him coming home and trying to do his work in the common areas. Oh wait, he can't do his work anymore because the Wi-Fi is also mine that I pay for. Update. Thank you for the replies. He came home this morning and was stuck gagging and vomiting in the bathroom for about half an hour. He has a borderline phobia of animal waste. The smell doesn't really bother me because I know it was my own doing. He still hasn't said anything to me due to the previous fight, but I will update again if anything exciting happens. It hasn't even been a day yet, so I am still waiting for anything climactic. I read a revenge story where the husband cheated and moved his new girlfriend into the house. Wife moved out but snuck back and stuffed seafood into the curtain rods of every room. Husband and GF couldn't find the source of the smell, so tried to sell the house, but no one wanted to live with the stink. Wife offered to buy the house at a greatly reduced rate, and when husband moved out he took the curtains and rods with him. Seems like you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. I'd simply had changed the Wi-Fi password and told him he doesn't get it back until he cleans up his mess. The next time he has to wait a week while keeping the kitchen clean. I guess he could always pay for his own Wi-Fi if he chose to. I had a roommate that was a similar type of person. Mentioned to them, hey, let's keep the trash can clean. Yeah? Dash. Does nothing but forget to do something they have mentioned? Flip the F out and take it so personally. Like, get over yourself. Ain't nobody worried about you cause you ain't worried about anybody. Period.